Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. Donald Trump has finally made the decision. He has announced to the world who he has picked as his running mate. Donald Trump chose JD Vance, U.S. Senator from Ohio. And Vance was first elected in 2022 for the U.S. Senate. And so that means he was sworn into office in 2023. And so JD Vance is a freshman senator. He's fairly new in the U.S. Senate. And Donald Trump chose JD Vance as his running mate. If Trump wins the presidential election, then JD Vance will become the vice president in January of 2025. And now, obviously, the question is, what's going to happen to JD Vance's U.S. Senate seat? Let me repeat. Vance was elected in 2022 for U.S. Senate. He was sworn into office in 2023, and a U.S. Senate term is a 6-year term. So if JD Vance becomes the VP in January of 2025, which would happen if the Trump-Vance ticket wins the election that's coming up in November 2024, what happens to the Senate seat that JD Vance won? That Senate seat is going to be vacant. And so according to Ohio law, if there's a vacancy, the state's governor is responsible for appointing someone to fill that seat, to fill that Senate seat. And who's the governor of Ohio? It's Governor Mike DeWine. If the governor appoints someone to the Senate seat, the replacement, that individual would serve until December of 2026. And reportedly, there must also be a special election held that year, and the winner of that special election would serve the remainder of JD Vance's term. Now, the good thing for the Republicans is the fact that the governor of Ohio is a Republican. So Governor Mike DeWine will appoint the replacement. And so he will appoint a Republican. And here's the interesting thing. In Ohio, there's a race for the U.S. Senate already. It's ongoing. And this is the seat that Democrat U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown now has. Democrat Senator Sherrod Brown, he's up for re-election. He's running for re-election. And so there was an intense primary in the GOP for that seat. There was a primary that took place. And in that primary, Donald Trump made an endorsement. He endorsed Bernie Moreno for U.S. Senate. But the Republican governor of Ohio endorsed somebody else. Governor DeWine endorsed State Senator Matt Dolan for that U.S. Senate seat. So Trump endorsed Bernie Moreno and Governor DeWine endorsed Senator Matt Dolan. So difference of opinion between Governor DeWine and Donald Trump. Eventually Bernie Moreno won, Matt Dolan did not. Now with JD Vance as Donald Trump's running mate, people are obviously freedom-loving Americans like myself, we are hoping and praying that Trump and Vance would win the election, the November 2024 election. And then the question is, who would Governor DeWine of Ohio pick to fill the U.S. Senate seat in Ohio? Now, he has the option, Governor DeWine has the option of choosing Matt Dolan for that position. Why? Because he had endorsed Matt Dolan for U.S. Senate, but Matt Dolan did not win the primary. Bernie Moreno won the primary. So Bernie Moreno is running against Democrat Senator Sherrod Brown for U.S. Senate. And with JD Vance's seat now becoming available, because JD Vance has been chosen by Donald Trump as his running mate. So if the Trump-Vance ticket becomes victorious, wins the election, then what happens to JD Vance's seat? Going back to Governor Mike DeWine, he is going to be picking the replacement. So he has the option of choosing Matt Dolan for that position. But here's the very interesting part that I'm going to tell you about. There's another name that has come up, a name that is very popular, and this is somebody who's from Ohio who could also be chosen to fill the Senate seat, that JD Vance was elected to. And that name is Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek Ramaswamy, as people already know, he ran for president as a Republican. Vivek Ramaswamy did. And in fact, last year, when the GOP presidential debate took place in Milwaukee, Vivek Ramaswamy was on stage along with other candidates. And in the course of running for president, Vivek Ramaswamy gained a lot of support. He gained a lot of popularity. And people even mentioned Vivek Ramaswamy's name as a possible candidate for VP. But as we know, Donald Trump chose JD Vance. And so now there are many people who are saying that Governor DeWine of Ohio should pick Vivek Ramaswamy to fill the Senate seat. I don't know what Governor DeWine is going to do. Is he going to choose Vivek Ramaswamy, a very, very popular name in American politics right now? Or is Governor DeWine going to choose Matt Dolan, who he had endorsed for U.S. Senate not too long ago? But as I mentioned, Matt Dolan did not win the primary. Bernie Moreno did. So what is Governor DeWine going to do? It's a very interesting question, and there's going to be a lot of focus on this. Going forward, I think many people will talk about this because it's a very important seat to fill. It's a very important seat. I mean, Ohio is a very important state for Republicans, and to be the U.S. Senator from Ohio, that's a very, very important seat. So what is Governor DeWine going to do? Is he going to choose Matt Dolan, who he had endorsed? Is he going to choose Vivek Ramaswamy, who gained a lot of popularity as he ran for president? And, or is he going to come up with a different name? Is he going to choose somebody else? So there's going to be a lot of focus on Governor DeWine of Ohio. And, people are waiting to see what decision he's going to make. So I just wanted to point that out. Trump chose Vance for running mate. What does it mean for the 2024 election? It means that on the ticket you have somebody who is a senior citizen. You've got Trump. Obviously, Trump being in his 70s, he's a senior citizen, but he's very sharp, he's very strong, and he's very determined. And he is the leader. I keep saying that. He is our leader. Donald Trump is the leader of the Republican Party. And, a lot of people who met Trump would say that he's the strongest person that they have met. People have a lot of confidence in Donald Trump. People have a lot of hope attached to this Trump-Vance ticket. So on one hand, you have Trump, former president, and as people are saying, he's going to be the 47th president soon, because we are hoping and praying that Trump would win the election. But Trump has chosen a fairly young individual as his running mate, JD Vance. He is in his late 30s. He is a millennial. So it's a very interesting ticket. You've got Trump, a person with a lot of experience, former US president, a very strong person, a very determined person, and then you have a fairly young political figure, JD Vance. So that makes this presidential ticket, the Trump-Vance presidential ticket, very interesting, and people are very hopeful that the Trump-Vance ticket is going to be successful. And the Trump-Vance ticket will make America great once again. So that's what a lot of freedom-loving Americans like myself are thinking as we look at November 2024. But then we also have to pay attention to what Governor Mike DeWine decides to do with the open seat in Ohio, the Senate seat. Is he going to choose Matt Dolan? Is he going to choose Vivek Ramaswamy? Or is it going to be somebody else? So I will be talking more about this. Obviously, there will be so much to discuss and to analyze going forward. And as I'm speaking to you, this is the fourth day of the Republican National Convention, which is taking place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And the RNC, this is the RNC week. It has been, it has been, a week of anticipation. And there's still a lot of anticipation about what Donald Trump is going to say in his speech. Donald Trump is scheduled to speak later today at the RNC. What will Mr. Trump say in his speech? What will his message be to the American people? So I'm waiting to watch his speech. I'm looking forward to it. My friends, please stay connected with me because I will be coming before you with more news, more updates, more analysis, more commentary. So please stay connected. Thank you once again for continuing to listen to my podcast. Please visit my website, tossifanam.net. Please send me an email if you want to email me. My email address is the following, tossif@tossifanam.net. I look forward to hearing from you. And let me also mention that you can also find me on social media. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on X, formerly known as Twitter, and I'm also on Truth Social. So please reach out to me, send me your questions, send me your comments. I look forward to hearing from you. Once again, thank you for continuing to listen to my podcast. I hope to be back again soon with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam.